Kyle Stevens with Shurtape Technologies. I'm the demand manager. Looking back on how I got into supply chain, I started out as a transportation NAFTA guy that was looking into how to do drawbacks and tariffs with a previous company. Wanted to explore different options and see a little bit more of the business side of things, and so moved over into supply chain and really found a place there for me to explore. So planning, doing demand planning is not just the numbers. There's an artistic side to it that we always speak to, that you have to have the ability to see beyond the trees or through the trees. So that's kind of why I got into supply chain. I like the ability to create and have an opportunity to change maybe what we're seeing or push what we want to do down the road. So Shurtape is a manufacturer of tapes. We manufacture most of our tapes in the United States. So we're located in Hickory, North Carolina. So that's our global headquarters. But we also have a secondary headquarter, if you will, in Cleveland, which is our retail business. And then we're located across the entire world. So we've got 14 total facilities right now, and we continue to expand. We just started a facility in Australia about 2 years ago. So Shurtape's growing. It's family owned. They're very focused on pressure sensitive tapes for the packaging world. But then the brands we're most known for maybe are our Frog Tape brand, which you would see in your local hardware stores, our Painters Make Green, our Shurtape brand, and also our T-Rex brand. A little fun fact about T-Rex is it holds a world record for the strongest tape. So if you ever grabbed it and tried to tear it, you wouldn't be able to. So you have to actually have a pair of scissors to tear it. But it's been recognized as the strongest tape in the world. So the trick is on a duct tape, which is what T-Rex tape is. Can I do this? Most people are going to tear the tape this way. So with T-Rex tape, the brute force version, you can't tear it this way because the way the twine is done inside of it, right? But the trick is, you can tell somebody, you can say, hey, I bet you can't tear this tape. And they're going to sit there and they're going to struggle and they won't be able to tear it. And you say, but if I can tear it, you have to buy me a beer, right? And so you can turn it sideways and you can tear it long ways. So that's the bar trick that we always get people with. So when you look back at where we were before we started with '09, we really go back to 2019 when COVID kind of started to spike up. We saw within our business two different things happen. On our retail side, we saw a lot of increase in sales and increase in demand, if you will. Everybody kind of went home, they're stuck at the house, and they've got extra money. And so they're instantly like, hey, let's do, our painting ourselves. We don't want people in our house. We don't want to, interact, and we've got the time. So let's spend that time painting. So we saw our retail business like shoot up. But in doing so, it was something we weren't prepared for. We didn't have the ability to react. And on the flip side, we had an industrial business that kind of went the opposite way. And this created a view of, we needed to do something a little different in order to, be able to react quicker and also give a vision to where we want to be. So we implemented the pillars of success at Shurtape. We feel like that's what sets us apart from our competitors. Pillars of success, there's 4 of them. One of them is just be obsessed with your customers, and then embrace change, be result focused and move quick. And then probably the one that we focus the most on is be better tomorrow than you are today. And so with those kind of thought processes, we started exploring what we needed to be able to, forecast and show our business partners what we needed from a production supply all the way down. '09 came in with a lot of different software companies. We went through an entire RFP process, but at the end of the day, what set '09 apart, I think for us, was the ability to have multi-echelon forecasting. And then if you look at the machine learning capabilities and the ability to create within '09, right? So we don't have this whole, you have to do it this way, you have to do it this way. There is a standard ref model, but there's an allowance in there in order to really get it set to your business. So we really like that. And then on the flip side of it too, we needed a partner that was going to help guide us down further than just the technology. We needed somebody that was going to instruct us where we could be better as far as a total transformation, not just a digital transformation or a technology transformation. Once we knew we were going with '09, we sat down with several people from '09 and basically said, look, blank canvas. We don't want to assume that we're doing something right or doing something wrong. This is the sort of things we think we want to do. But it was a blank canvas, and it was focused on a full transformation. When we say full transformation, it wasn't just the technology, like I had said. It's the people. It was also the process, and it was the stakeholders, right? So we had to focus on all of those components. And so when you do the blank canvas look and you start to back up from it and say, if we could have everything the way we want it, what would you have? I mean, your people are kind of the first thing you need. And '09 helped us kind of see that and build out what the job was. By doing so, we were able to go out and recruit, top level talent. And so once we knew what we needed and they gave us that view, we were able to do that and get out there and get the right people. Yeah, I think the key pillars are, you got to have commitment from your stakeholders. That plays a big part in making sure that we're getting the right support. And we had that from the get-go. We had our executive team behind us, wanting us to do well, and supporting us the whole way. And that support really pushed us through to the next level. So we spent a great deal of time, putting the right team in place, and then also we spent a great deal of time when we were implementing. Even before '09 was implemented, we spent a great deal of time preparing and setting the building blocks through like what we called a PR roadshow, right? And this took us to, hey, let's include everybody into the process. Let's get their feedback, understand what they want. So from an organizational standpoint, we really focused on letting the company tell us what they needed or what they thought they needed. And then we used that as an ability to build out what we then really actually needed. So we took input from, you know, down to the plants level up to the executive level. The whole way we collected data, information, questions, and really let people have a voice in it. And by doing so, we were able to create that job that we knew we would have to go out and spend time getting the right person. So at the end of the day, the organizational impact that we see is that by having the right people now, and the people that actually helped us kind of design what we needed, they're more open to the idea that, hey, this person's trying to help me, versus in the past sometimes it felt like we were maybe struggling against each other. The O9 platform itself performs very well. Obviously, there's when you start up, if we could go back, or maybe a lesson learned is manage the expectations that even we have, right? So we came into it expecting that from day one we were going to be super users. That's the wrong expectation. You have to kind of set a path and say, this is where we're going to get better. O9 has done a great job. They've been very communicative to us. Their support center has helped us a lot to understand. You question sometimes what you're seeing, is it the right thing? And so it's been great having somebody to reach out. There's a very good response time there where we're able to ask a question and get a response back. But the overall process of our system is working at a very high level. I mean, we're extremely pleased with what we have today. Well, '09 is a partner. So the team, from the get go. I mean, I could sit here and name off names, but the individuals we started with and the individuals we're with today, they're not in it to sell us something. I don't feel like that's what we're after. They're there to help us and answer our questions and support us. So we've really enjoyed the ability to explore the opportunities that they've brought to us, And those opportunities have really given us the ability to perform better in our roles. So a good example of this would be, the multi-echelon forecasting. This is something that prior to '09, I don't know if anybody on our team knew of this, but the ability to do that today gives us a broader view of what we can and want to be down the road. Our KPIs have seen a significant increase, or we've gotten a lot better there. One of the KPIs we measure ourselves to is our forecast accuracy. Prior to the '09 team coming in and helping us kind of design that, we measured the scores at around 30 to 40% was our forecast accuracy. In this previous year in 2024, we're seeing our 90-day accuracy increase to 70%, sometimes even higher. That's our goal. We feel like best in business is running around 70% at lead time. So we feel like we're hitting that now. On top of that, we're also seeing an increase in our service rate. So throughout Shurtape's history, we've measured our fill rate scores. Our goal is always 98% because our customers expect us to be at 98%. And for the first year and since COVID, we're seeing a consistent 98%. So, it's unheard of to hit 98% on even a monthly perspective, I think, but to continuously do it month over month, it really speaks volumes to how well the forecast is getting the right inventory into the right places. And you think about how much business we do from multiple locations, your fill rates, your service, that's measured at a DC level almost. So if you can have it right at the top, but if you don't have it in the right location, you're still going to take that service hit. So I think the '09 software has really pushed us to be able to get those service rates up to 98%. And then on the other side of things, the productivity of the team has increased. So for instance, in the past, when we did forecasting, our statistical runs, there was 5 days of work that went along with that. And because of that, we only ran those forecasts once every quarter, those statistical models. This with our previous software, but with '09, based on the functionality that we have now, we're able to run it every month, and it's less than a half a day of review time for us because it's exception management. It spits out, it tells us when we should look at something and when we shouldn't. So, and then compliance fines are down significantly as well. So we're seeing about $1.5 million reduction there over the past year.